honey, it's me. What did you think when you heard me back on?
Renowned musician Harry Chapin devoted his life and fortune to eliminating hunger. Chapin aided in establishing the Presidential Commission on World Hunger, the World Hunger Year, and local organization Long Island Cares. Harry Chapin's legacy is not only his music, but also his leadership towards eliminating the global hunger epidemic. Harry Chapin, the Do Something leadership and legacy of a Long Island musician and hunger activist.
Let me tell you about what's gone.
Harry Chapin's storied life began on December 7, 1942 in New York City. He was born into a distinguished family, long on achievement but short on money. His father Jim was a drummer who toured with Tommy Dorsey's big band, and his grandfather James Chapin was one of the period's best-known painters.
This influenced Harry from his tender years. Along with his younger brothers Tom and Stephen Chapin, Harry strummed a guitar in a well-received folk act during the 1960s. After short stints at the Air Force Academy and studying philosophy and architecture at Cornell University, Harry temporarily found his niche in documentary filmmaking, even earning an Academy Award nomination in 1968 for his film Legendary Champions while still writing lyrics for the Chapins. But music was his passion.
Harry found that his brothers were playing fewer original songs in favor of more rock and roll covers, and there was no longer a place for Harry in the band.
Harry came back and, tried to sort of step back, said, no, we should be doing our original stuff. We should be true to what we were, and it just wasn't the time, wasn't the place.
Adrift after the rift with his brothers and a failed screenplay, Harry found himself out of work. For lack of a better alternative, Harry applied for a license to drive a New York City cab. He daydreamed of picking up a lost love in his cab and began writing the lyrics to what became a legendary song, Taxi. Harry decided to pick up his broken dreams and restart his music career solo.
I needed one more fare to make my night. A lady up ahead waved to flag me down. She got in at the light.
This time, he was a success, using Harry's unique fashion of lyrical storytelling. Harry parlayed his newfound popularity into writing a Broadway play that earned him 2 Tony nominations. However, Harry's biggest success came from a song off Verities and Balderdash, the #1 single, Cats in the Cradle.
When Harry would come home from the road, he would show me new stuff that he'd been working on, and I'd show him some things that I'd been doing, and I showed him the poem for Cats in the Cradle, and he kind of pushed it aside, and he took more interest in a couple of other things that I'd been working on. And then, after Joshua was born, he grabbed it and said, hey, I got to put music to this.
I arrived just the other day. He came to the world in the usual way, but there were planes to catch and bills to pay. He learned to walk while I was away, and he was talking for I knew it. And as he grew, he'd say, I'm gonna be like you, Dad. You know I'm gonna be like you.
Finally, Harry had achieved the commercial success and recognition he had always wanted for his music. However, his greatest legacy still lie ahead. In 1973, Harry Chapin met Father Bill Ayres, a Roman Catholic priest, host of a national rock and religion radio show, and caused a profound change in Harry's life.
He and Bill just really connected and really started to go beyond talking about music. They started to talk about the news, and at that point there were some catastrophic famines in Bangladesh, 1975, and in the Horn of Africa and Eritrea and Ethiopia, and they just felt that this was such an important thing to address. Before too long, they had decided to start a World Hunger Year.
Harry had witnessed the widespread poverty and hunger there firsthand. In 1969, Harry had traveled to Ethiopia to film its scenic splendor.
What made a great impression on him was they had an opportunity, I think, as part of the filmmaking, to interview the Emperor Haile Selassie. And the grandeur, the obscene contrast between the resources he had for his own aggrandizement versus what was going on in the country.
So our focus from the beginning was to be a grassroots support organization. Harry and I made a commitment to spend the rest of our lives fighting hunger and poverty.
The quote that I always love to remember, which is, "Hunger is not from a shortage of food, it's from a shortage of democracy." They did not accept the idea that hunger was an inevitable part of the human condition. And they believed, as my father said, bluntly, he said, hunger is stupid.
Harry and Ayers attempted to organize a benefit concert, but it never got off the ground. In 1975, Harry Chapin and Bill Ayers founded World Hunger Year, today called Why Hunger, a grassroots organization that works with more than 8,000 community-based groups around the world to help fight hunger and poverty by connecting people to nutritious and affordable food.
We felt we had to keep going because nobody else was doing what we were doing. The idea was to invest in long-term solutions to fight hunger and poverty. And so we went all over the country and found the very best community-based organizations, thousands of them. We began to partner with them and learn from them.
Harry didn't stop there. In 1978, he met with President Jimmy Carter to discuss the need for a presidential commission on world hunger.
He stood on the steps of Congress and played his guitar, trying to get people's attention. Harry was the only one who showed up to every meeting. It's in the record.
In 1980, Harry brought the fight against hunger home to Long Island.
He used to do a lot for hunger around the world until somebody finally said, "Harry, what about hunger in your own backyard?" And that got him thinking, because he lived right here on Long Island, he lived right in Huntington, and that got him thinking about doing something for Long Island, and that's when he founded Long Island Cares.
Just 1 year later, Harry's legacy was cut short. On July 16, 1981, Harry was traveling westbound on the Long Island Expressway, heading to a meeting in New York before returning to perform a free benefit concert with an expected crowd of 25,000 people at the island's Eisenhower Park. At exit 40, Harry turned on his emergency lights and his car shifted lanes. A tractor-trailer demolished his car from behind. He died from the force of the crash. At age 38, Harry Chapin was dead. But his work as an advocate for the hungry is a legacy that resonates 30 years after his death and is evident all over Long Island and the world.
But about 65,000 people visit our food pantries every week. I think we try to listen to what people need, and I think our motto is, because it takes more than food to feed the hungry, because we came to that conclusion that, food is important, but people need other things. Without Harry, there would be no Long Island Cares.
And he was all about commitment. If you're going to do something, really do it.
Harry's activist career was only a short 5 years, but he left a lasting legacy on Long Island, although some feel he would still not be satisfied.
I'm not sure he'd be thrilled that, we're still doing this in a way, because I think he felt, or he always hoped, he could end hunger on Long Island.
But he liked to, to be in the mix of people who are making things happen.
He did it before it was sexy. He kind of did it when nobody else was doing it, and he always, 50% of his concerts, he donated the money to charity.
My uncle James said at his memorial service, none of us can fill Harry's shoes, but he reminds us to fill our own shoes.
I think the thing that makes all of us want to be alive is to matter. And the way you matter is care enough about something so you keep doing it.
Harry Chapin truly cared.